Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Now, it's a model of what the future could look like. Israel, which is now coming out of lockdown after almost half of all Israelis received their first vaccine dose. Beer and pizza are being used to entice young people who are still reluctant to be jabbed. Also called vaccine passports are required to access gyms and theatres. Our Foreign Affairs correspondent Jonathan Rugman reports.
Opening up after 3 lockdowns, Israelis are reaping the rewards of the highest vaccination rate in the world. But for gyms and theatres, there's a catch. No entry without a so-called green pass, proving you've either had COVID or been fully vaccinated against it.
Only 30% of our customer has the green pass, which means that 70% of our customer cannot be here. The main population here at the gym are young. So they don't hurry up to do the vaccine, or they don't want to do the vaccine.
The rollout of the Pfizer jab, which Israel bought in bulk, has been so successful that you don't even need an appointment. Even 16-year-olds are now welcome here. Yet so many young Israelis are staying away that the daily vaccination rate at this centre has more than halved.
You should see fit for yourself if you want to get a vaccine or not. I mean, it's not for the government or for a group of people to tell me and determine what I can do and what I can't do.
The result is that the young are falling sick, with new COVID variants spreading fast.
Today, around 75 to 80% of the new infections are people that are below the age of 40. So this is also concerning, I have to tell you. But on the other hand, usually these people are less inclined to get into what we call severe conditions.
Officials are so worried that this bar is offering free non-alcoholic beer to the newly vaccinated. Elsewhere, pizza is on offer to those who've so far refused the jab. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is up for re-election next month and can't afford another lockdown. Yet he's accused of ignoring this ultra-Orthodox funeral last month, which drew some 20,000 defiant mourners. Ultra-Orthodox Jews account for nearly a quarter of new COVID cases, but the governing coalition relies upon this minority to stay in power. In this community, misinformation is rife. This leaflet in Jerusalem warning that the vaccinated will struggle to conceive children and need to be prayed for. As the immunisation rate slows down, this government task force is ever busier monitoring social media, alerting the police when it spots fake vaccine news. Hotels can reopen this week, but again only for guests with a green pass, which is checked by the Health Ministry, though fraudulent versions are being sold online.
Many businesses these days are terrified of this scenario, of people going into gyms and hotels and they're actually not vaccinated, and it is pretty terrifying.
The government's been criticised for not suspending incoming flights until late last month, Israel's worst for deaths, mostly from COVID variants. Though Greece and Cyprus will accept Israeli tourists carrying proof of vaccination when this airport eventually reopens. The first vaccine wasn't allowed into Gaza until last week, as some Israeli MPs objected. 22,000 doses intended for some 2 million Palestinians, even as Israelis barely need to queue for the jab.
Jonathan Rugman.